The Northwest Upstate Illini Conference has been collecting state championships by the bushel over the past few decades. The Dakota Indians have contributed to that by winning 3 titles. We focus on the first one in our Glory Days segment that came in the fall of 2005. The Indians took a 13-0 record into Champaign to face once-beaten Aledo for the 2A championship. The Indians loved to run the football with halfback Tyler Olson and fullback Matt Wenger. Those two had combined for almost 3,000 yards rushing going into the game. In this game, Dakota ran 60 offensive plays, 54 of those were runs. Wenger piled up the biggest stats. He rushed for 163 yards and 3 touchdowns. The first one in the second quarter still left the Indians trailing 8-6, but the next two put them up 20-8 late in the third. Aledo cut it to 20-15 in the fourth, but a desperation pass by Aledo on the final play of the game was batted down in the red zone, and Dakota had a 20-15 win for its first state championship. In Jerry Lano's 17th season at Dakota, the Indians had finally reached the top. Other key players on that team included Luke Winterhalter, Jared Benedetto, quarterback Darren Olson, Paul Graybill, Brandon Houghton, Kurt Dolphinbull, and Kevin Kirchner. Joining us now on the phone is one of the captains of that team, fullback, middle linebacker Matt Wenger. Matt, is there one play from that championship game that stands out in your memory?
There's probably a handful, but I think it's the last play. Obviously, when they threw the Hail Mary, and we were able to knock it down. When you actually go back and watch it on tape, it was pretty scary because that ball, it wasn't a clean bat down, and it kind of hung up there for a little bit, and there had the trailer coming, and the guy almost caught the ball, which could have been disastrous for us, but it worked out.
You guys trailed until late in the third quarter. At any point up until then, was there any panic on the sideline or in the huddle?
No, I wouldn't say there was panic. We knew going into that game that they were a really good team, that they were very balanced, and it was going to be a big challenge for us. It just kind of, we had to start doing a couple of different things. Made a couple adjustments at halftime, and then in the third quarter we came out, and I think we had like an 18 or 19 play drive, and we scored, took the lead, and then that was really, I think, kind of changed the game at that point. Put us in control. I wouldn't say we took over, but we were able to control the clock, control the ball. I think we had the ball for 8 or 9 minutes in the third quarter, and it obviously ended up winning the game. So.
You had a big game individually, rushing for 163 yards and 3 touchdowns, and you led the defense with 13 tackles and a sack. You always played physical and with great emotion. How, Matt, would you describe the fire that burned in you that day as you tried to get that first state championship for Dakota?
It's probably one of the most memorable games I've ever played in. When you're growing up with these, all your buddies, winning state championship is something that you all want to do at some point one day, and having the opportunity to do it, and when it's right there, in your grasp, you just kind of grab it, don't let go. You just gotta, you refuse to lose, and that's the attitude that I had, and we all actually had a lot of guys that way, which is why we won.
So many of the guys on that team were also great wrestlers, yourself included. We all know how mentally tough wrestlers are. How much did that wrestling background help you and the guys on the football field?
It was huge. We had probably the most mentally tough team of any of the teams that have ever come through this area. We had a lot of guys that were, pretty tough guys, and we're all in the same group, and we're able to get it done.
Our thanks to Matt Wenger for joining us. Matt currently lives in the Dakota area, and he's helping out at the family's cheese factory in Davis.